how grave is this act of the Chief Justice? If you are asked to describe, if if you are asked to describe whether it is minor infraction, whether it is a grave issue, Madam Justice, we're talking here of the internal rules, which by heart you're supposed to uphold. Not to mention that their collegiality might be compromised. So, you are now being asked to describe, if it is wrong, how wrong it is, in relation to the collegiality requirement and in the internal rules which will all uphold in the Supreme Court.
Your Honor, I do not wish to preempt the committee from making that conclusion or that judgment.
Madam, we will not take it against you if you preempt us. I think the very reason why you were invited before us, you are a special person in relation to the charges now before us. You are in a position to advise us. We as ordinary mortals, even if some of us here are lawyers, we look upon you as our superior, you being a member of the highest tribunal of this country. So, I don't think it is a very hard question. We're only asking you to describe how wrong it is in relation to the requirement of collegiality, in relation to your own internal rules, which you yourself also invoke. And you also tell us, lawyers of inferior qualities probably, na lahat po ng inyong gagawin nasa tuntunin. If the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is the one involved in a transgression, no matter how minor or major, how would you describe this?
It is a very difficult question for me to answer. As I said, I would not like to preempt Justice, the former Justice Congressman Veloso, I think, will be in a position to give his opinion on
My
this.
only reply, Your Honor, is that if this were committed by a plain mortal, an RTC judge, or a municipal trial court judge, he should have been dismissed a long time ago by the Supreme Court.
So, Madam Justice, prescinding from that statement made by our colleague, we're talking here of the Premier Justice of the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, whose actions can be emulated by inferior mortals like we are. We're confronted with the issue that has a transcendental importance. You will not deny us the opportunity to be advised on this very important and probably a very crucial decision that this committee will make in the course of our proceedings.
Me, Your Honor, we do not give advisory opinions,
Okay, because
especially on matters that may in the future be elevated
Opo.
to the court.
Kasi kanina po, dahil wala naman po ako rito, meron po kasi kaming ibang mga committees pa, ngayon lang po ako nakaupo rito. Somebody informed me that even in the earlier charge, yung pong nakaraan, meron po yatang argaw, our majority leader already asked you tungkol po doon sa transgression of the constitutional duty of the Supreme Court and Bank, which you upheld, hindi po ba? And you were asked whether or not the Chief Justice, the respondent in this case, violated the Constitution. You denied also. That is the same answer.
The one that we discussed earlier today pertains to a memorandum that I have issued, and so I have to.
Yes, madam. And you were asked whether or not the Chief Justice committed a culpable violation, and you said that you cannot answer that because you would not like to preempt the decision of this committee. Is that not correct?
Honor.
Okay, so last two questions. I will read this, Madam, and this is very familiar to you. This is Article 11, Section 1 of the Philippine Constitution. Public office is a public trust. Public officers and employees must at all times be accountable to the people, serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency, act with patriotism and justice, and lead modest lives. In our discussion this afternoon, Madam Justice, in relation to the two subject matters of today's hearing, was this section of the Constitution violated?
Your Honor, it is really difficult for me to draw a conclusion from everything that is before us now, because we need to give the Chief Justice the opportunity to defend herself. So
I'm not
like,
asking you a conclusion, Madam, probably an opinion.
Yes, but that is the same, Your Honor. And
That's the same.
I do not want to. I do not want to give an opinion which may prejudice the Chief Justice.
Okay.
Without her being given the opportunity to defend herself.
Thank you, Madam. Of course, we will not force you to answer under duress.